Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Advisor with Stacey Chillemi. And today I'm very excited because we have one of our special guests back today. He is part of our podcast community. His name is Herb Kagano, and he also has his own podcast. And he has a great show, and he talks about leadership, about scaling, about business. He goes into entrepreneurship, and he has a lot of great things. And today he's going to talk a little about scaling and leadership and some of the things that he really believes could help people change their business and get to the level that they want to achieve and elevate their business to that extent where they always thought they wanted to be, they really desire to be, but they not sure if they could actually do it. So he's going to show you how today in this great episode. So listen carefully. Herb, it's a wonderful pleasure to have you as always. I'm so excited to hear about this program that you have created and all the components in the program that show people and give people the great advice on how to scale their business and how to create leadership within their own business that will help them scale to the levels that they want to achieve.
Well, thank you, Stacy, and Happy New Year to you and to all your audience. It's very exciting to be asked back to be a part of this community and program, and I really look forward to sharing with you some of the wonderful things that I've learned in this crazy business journey and hopefully benefit you and your listeners with some of that experience.
Yes, I'm really excited. Now, scaling is really a topic that a lot of people are a little bit fearful of or hesitant to do, and it really can make you or break you. And if you really need sometimes that help and that guidance from people who have a lot of experience in that field that can really show you how to do it the right way. And it's amazing how just a few tweaks in here and there and the amount of profit you could endure and how you could grow your business so quickly if you do things the proper way. Now, before we begin, can you tell people a little about yourself and your
Yeah.
background and your experience?
Yeah, thank you. So I have been an entrepreneur now for over 35 years. I was born and brought up in a family business, learned many valuable lessons, as you can appreciate during that time. And in early 2000, I started reading about the scaling up performance platform, which was really a growth playbook that would help structure your growth in what seemed like a very chaotic
Yeah.
experience juggling sales, marketing, operations, but it really put some structure to something that was very important to our company, and that was growing profitably, growing operationally sound, keeping our employees happy. But during that journey, we hit an inflection point where we got stuck
Yeah.
and it wasn't fun, and there was a lot of drama, and we were working really hard. And imagine a business owner, if you don't do it right, you are absolutely overworked,
Hmm.
underpaid,
Yeah.
and you take 100% of the risk.
Right.
And what started as this dream to run a business turned into a nightmare.
Hmm.
And so the lessons that I've learned was how to get our business back working for us versus us working for the business, and literally fell back in love with the business that we started and
Yeah.
enjoyed that journey so much more. And that's what this new program is about, taking all these collective learnings, things that we did right, a lot of things we did wrong, and putting it together in a program that makes it even simpler for business owners to navigate the complexity of growing in this really fast changing competitive world.
Wow. Now, when it comes to like scaling, what are some of the things that people struggle with the most?
So I find there's a couple of things. Number one, you have to develop a leadership team.
Hmm.
If you're making all the decisions, your business can only grow so big,
Yeah.
and you end up spending all your time working in the business, telling everybody else what to do,
Right.
versus working on the business, which is really focused on growth oriented market facing activities. New programs, new territories, new partnerships, new acquisitions. These are things where growth really gets scalable.
Right.
And so when you're stuck in the weeds, you
Hmm.
don't get to do that.
Yeah.
And that can be very challenging because you're putting out fires all day and you're dealing with drama. So the first part that I think that we addressed was education. You
Right.
don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So scaling up methodologies, tools, and methods was very important for the business owner to understand what they had at their disposal and, most importantly, when to use it.
Hmm.
The second part that I found was executive coaching on how do I implement the tool? I don't want to disrupt my company. I worked hard to get it where it's at, and I definitely don't want to play with it or experiment in a way that's going to hurt me. So now I understand what the method is, but what's the real world application for my situation that's going to make this work? So
Right.
that executive coaching for adoption and implementation is really important. Um, the third thing that I found was peer learning and sharing. So I've taught the Scaling Up Masters business course now globally for 5 years. And I cannot believe the insights, the additional learning and sharing you get from being around a cohort of really smart other successful business people. You
Right.
pick up things from different industries, different countries, different cultures, and yet you can connect the dots to where that may apply to your situation.
Right.
And that's unique and that's very beneficial.
Oh, yeah.
The second thing is when you're in a group of peers, it kind of helps you rise. It makes you stand a little taller,
Yeah.
maybe work a little bit harder because you
Hmm.
want to keep up with the best of the best.
Right.
And there's kind of a peer element there that really works well. So you have sharing, you have learning, you have peer accountability, along with this amazing scaling up education, and then the coaching to really help you know how to apply it. The fourth piece that I learned that was important in the program was facilitated strategic planning. The market is constantly changing. If your go to market plan, your strategic plan, is not changing with it,
Hmm.
you're going to have a problem.
Right.
And I find a lot of owners feel like, well, I can facilitate and also do the planning all at once. And I did that, guilty as charged, for the
Right.
first probably year and a half. But what I learned is if you can have somebody from the outside facilitating, well, you're really intently participating and working with your team, you're that much present and your input is that much valuable for the strategic planning outcomes. So they're in your calendar, they're booked, the facilitation and the planning is all set, the agenda. You just need to show up, do your homework, and make sure your team comes out with a great plan for next quarter go to market. And so those four elements over this 20-year journey with
Yeah.
scaling up, we learned to put into one program, and that's our Scaling Up Collective program, which brings these like minded business owners and leadership teams together.
I love that. That sounds amazing. That's something I think a lot of people need, and a lot of people do feel alone. They do, and it's hard because they don't know who to reach out to, or they've reached out to people and they haven't really gotten the results that they hope for. So then people, they get burned or they get disappointed and they stop trying to look and they're like, I can only do this by myself. Nobody understands my business but me, and then they do try to do everything that you mentioned by themselves and it stagnates the business. Sometimes the businesses can fail because it's just, there's too much on one person's plate, and but when you can break those components and you can create, a way to make things easier for the entrepreneur, for the business owner, and they can really delegate and really, understand where they're at. They can make the right decisions and they could have people underneath them and everybody has a different job. And then the owner is less stressed. Everyone's doing what they're supposed to. They can see the numbers more clearly. They know where, what needs to be raised, what doesn't need to be raised, and things start growing more smoothly and it seems like a lot less stressful.
Yeah. No, thank you. I couldn't agree more. And the actual outcome, you put in a lot of work, but as a business owner, what is your company worth? What's the valuation at the end of the day? You
Right.
take a lot of risk. You put in years or decades. What's left?
Yeah.
So we try and help the ownership understand that the business is an asset.
Hmm.
We want that asset to grow. And if you ever decide to retire or you want to sell or pursue different activities, you have a valuation that is now an asset that you could retire and have complete financial independence.
Right.
In addition, you're set up that you can actually work on the business versus in it
Yeah.
because you have a really competent team of leadership that is independent, autonomous, and can do that. And then finally, you're enjoying, like, I found a lot of owners that once they learn how to do this correctly,
Hmm.
they don't want to sell because the business is running so well.
Right.
They're like, why would I ever sell this? Now, some do, but the point is, you finally have a choice,
Yeah.
which I think is what we all want as an entrepreneur. And I have one company that is in the natural stone business.
Hmm.
Not sexy, it's not high tech or Google or Apple.
Yeah.
They make beautiful home products, veneer for the front of your house,
Hmm.
the backyard, your fire pits, your
Yeah.
custom stoves. You know what their purpose is? Their purpose is not natural stone. Their purpose is bringing people together. Do you remember those
Oh,
memories in your backyard by the fire pit,
yeah.
cooking out the stories, the beautiful moments with loved ones and family?
Yes.
They want to have that moment for as many people in the world that they can be a part of that solution through their products.
I
And
love it.
all they want to do is scale, bringing people together. So we work on purpose with profits, enabling them to do both.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. I enjoy working with um, all my clients. I have another client that's in home remodeling
Yeah.
and home repair. Their purpose is helping other people. Because
Hmm.
when you're in your home and your toilet breaks or your kitchen isn't working and you're not a tradesperson, what do
Yeah.
you do?
Right.
And all they want to do is help people and help one another. And they
Right.
want to do that at scale. So connecting to that why and giving them a program to help them scale it
Yeah.
really creates purpose, profit, and impact.
Oh, I like that so much. A lot of times you see businesses, they struggle so much that they forget the why. And it's all about, they're focused on all about making money because they're trying to pay their bills or they're trying to, they're trying to, pay the payroll or, one or the other and sometimes both. And they forget why because they can't focus on the why because they're so busy trying to survive and it takes the beauty out of the business. And like you said, many want to sell their business because of that. But if they could figure out, the problem and solve it, and then they can go back to that why. And then sometimes, they end up wanting to keep the business because they go back to the reason why they created it in the first place.
Yeah, Stacy, just a short story about myself. In September, I completed my first full Ironman triathlon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
it was a life-changing moment. But imagine trying to scale your business to some incredible height, whether it's 10 million, 100 million. Very few company owners ever get there.
Right.
But the why is what allows you to go through the fire,
Yeah.
depression, recession, government regulation, changes in clients, your marketplace. With the Iron Man, I talked about it, sounded like a good goal, flavor of the day, shiny object.
Yeah.
But boy, when you're in it and you're working out 7 days a week and you're doing things you've never done before and you may
Right.
get injured, your why is the only thing that gets you through. And like a business owner, it's the same thing. If it
Hmm.
wasn't for wanting to do this with my son,
Yeah.
that why, there is no way I would have ever finished. And I working with a business owner in developing the why to a real emotionally connected level
Yeah.
makes the difference of how people can make it through that fire. And they do make it through that fire.
I love that. Now, what are some of the tools and methods that you were talking about in the beginning of the conversation that people might be able to apply to their business to help them when it comes to scaling their business and growing their business?
Yeah, so I'll relate it back to one of the biggest barriers we touched upon,
Hmm.
leadership.
Right.
So when you're building your business, we have a tool under our people tool section,
Hmm.
which deals with functional accountability, which is really the different areas of the companies that have to be led, either sales, marketing, finance, operations, HR. And normally, the business, when it's younger, the owner's handling, if not all of it, most of it.
Right.
The functional accountability tool, when we work with you over time, we help you hire, develop, and retain leaders in each of those individual functionalities
Yeah.
that also complements what you want to do in the business while getting others to do the other areas that are not your strength.
Right.
Sounds simple, but applying it to your particular situation, your actual budget,
Hmm.
your bandwidth
Yeah.
is subtle, and it takes a nuance that I've been doing for over 25 years to figure out how to do that correctly without disrupting your company.
Right. And I hear a lot of times that people, that's what a person struggles with the most is trying to figure out how to get everybody to do their job properly without having to feel that they have to be in it. And, trying to be that leader and that teacher and then, making sure it gets done. But, and feel confident enough where you could take a step back because many people either they can't find the right people to be those in those leadership roles, or they are not training them properly because and not realizing that they're making mistakes along the way when it comes to the training process.
Yeah. We have another tool called the Rockefeller Habits Checklist. The tool is exceptional for driving execution excellence. We
Mhm.
have 10 habits. They're building blocks for implementing scaling up. But where do you begin? Which
Right.
habit? Why?
Hmm.
And we work with you to understand the nuance of your situation and which of the building blocks, which habit needs to be established first. And then over time, we implement the other nine.
Oh, I love it.
What's interesting about the journey, though, Stacy, you can implement 9 or 10 of them when your company is, say, 25 employees.
Yeah.
But think of implementing all of them when your company's 100 employees.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
changes. And so we need to work with you so that you'll stay institutionalized with the structure and not just have it be a flavor of the day. We used to do that, but we don't do that anymore. And then
Yeah.
your business falls back.
Hmm.
So we not only want to teach it, adopt it, and institutionalize it to make sure that it's going to stick for scale. And
Right.
that's the important part.
Yes, 100%. So tell me about the services that you provide, the different services and programs.
Yeah, so I have more of a smaller company program, CEO executive coaching. It's more like one-on-one for me and the business owner. Maybe they're number two. You don't have much of a leadership team established, but you need to get going.
Yeah.
And I'll do scaling up coaching around how do we get the leadership team formed? How do we get sales moving? Execution so that we're profitable. But that's the first phase, I would say.
Hmm.
The second phase is this scaling up collective program. You're a business owner, you have a leadership team, but they still need to be developed and expanded. You want the benefit of scaling up education because you're not really understanding the scaling up playbook.
Yeah.
You don't really know what all the tools do,
Right.
but you want the benefit of executive coaching on which one first, when, and how. And you want the benefit of a peer group to accelerate your learning. So we have a cohort of no more than 3 to 5 small mid-market companies that are learning together, facilitated strategic planning together,
Right.
and then they have separate private monthly coaching calls that help them deal with their specific situation. And I think that program is the optimal program.
Hmm.
And then you have maybe a larger company with an executive team of, let's say, 7 to 10 people. I'm going to say 25 to 100 million, and you want exclusive.
Yeah.
Herb, I want you to do all of what you said, but just for me. And that is my third program. It's the most expensive program, but you get the most exclusive use of me and your coach,
Yeah.
education, and the methods.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Now, when it comes to everything we talked about today, what are some of the important factors that you'd like to emphasize about today's conversation?
Number one, do you have a commitment to growth? Ideally, our programs are for business owners that want to double their business every 3 to 5 years.
Hmm.
They have a bias to take action. They're not only looking to talk about it, they're willing to put in the work to do something about it.
Right.
They have a desire for continuous learning. They view investing in their education for them and their team as a priority,
Hmm.
and they have a commitment to building something, a legacy, and they want that legacy to be passed on to them and others in their teams.
Right.
So they're very good stewards of what they created, and they're never happy. How do I say this? They want to continue to work on the business and make it better than it was before.
Right. Right.
And that's kind of the things about this program. If you're somebody that likes to talk about it but not really do anything with it, if you're not really committed to growth, sounds good, but you have a lifestyle company and that's okay. But these people are really looking to build businesses and enjoy the people and the purpose of doing it together.
Right. I like that. I like that a
Thank you.
lot. Now, where can people find you?
Yeah. My website is the simplest place, Aspire Growth Advisors with an S.com. You're going to see I have a programs page. You can look right under programs and see program 1, 2, and 3. The program we were highlighting today is the middle program called the Scaling Up Collective for Leadership Teams. On the front of the website, when you log in, you're going to see a simple assessment to discover your business scaling up readiness score. It will tell you where your gaps are to growth today, And then I'm happy to have a call with you, a coaching call, complimentary, to review your assessment, but more importantly, let you know what your biggest gaps are. And then you decide what you want to do with your team for your next steps.
Oh, I love that. I love that a lot. Now, people can also reach you on LinkedIn also. You have a,
Yes.
okay, wonderful, wonderful. Now, before we go, is there anything else that you'd like to contribute to the conversation that we may have not have touched base on?
Um, I'll just leave you with this. I think every owner is deserving of the business of their dreams.
Hmm.
And I don't want you to work for your business anymore. I want to help make your business work for you. And I know personally, being an entrepreneur, the risk you take, the long hours of sometimes unappreciated work.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are the lowest paid employee in the company as the
Mhm.
entrepreneur, and everyone thinks we're making money hand over fist. I know that is not true, but I want to help you make it true that you can get a profitable business that helps your team and your community, that you're very proud of,
Right.
and that you enjoy going to work on every day.
Oh, I love that. This has been amazing, Herb. You are just amazing. I love the fact that you brought up leadership and scaling today because that's something I think a lot of businesses struggle with. I love the fact that you also mentioned about having, group sessions also and how we could learn from one another. I think I have learned so much when I've been in group sessions and in business. And, you have people from all different areas, all different industries, and it doesn't matter because someone could think of and say something in the group and it just the light bulb goes off. It's like, wow, I never thought about that. Wow, I never tried that. And then you do, and then it works for you. And you never would have learned it unless you were in those groups. And so those are very beneficial too. And it's always great to have one-on-one coaching also where you could actually, work with the person one-on-one. And so I think what you're doing is great. And I love it because, when it comes to leadership and it comes to scaling, those are two topics that a lot of people need help with, and sometimes they're embarrassed to reach out and get the help. Especially when it comes to leadership. People don't want to admit that maybe they have some flaws in their leadership skills. So they keep it quiet and they try to figure it out. But sometimes you have to go outside the box because it really look having someone look in from an unbiased opinion is sometimes the best thing you can do. And they're not here to judge you. They're here to help you. So I love what you do. And I just
Thank you.
thank you and commend you. Thank you so much.
Well, until next time, and I look forward to talking to you down the road, and thank you
Yes.
for having me today.
Oh, you're very welcome. You have a great day.
Thank you.